Warning: this video may contain images of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples now deceased. Since 2006, the Royal Flying Doctors Service, Queensland Section, has been working with Cape York communities to build their capacity to respond to social and emotional wellbeing issues by providing employment and training opportunities. Samuel Bong completed a Certificate 4 in Mental Health and works in Pumperau, Cape York. This is Samuel's story.
My name's Samuel Bong. I hail from the Cairns, Tableland, Yidinji clan. To all the viewers out there, over listening to my story, you may hear a bit of wind or breeze coming through the speakers. Don't be alarmed about that. That's just the old people welcoming you guys and myself and the camera crew, and to say that you're welcome to the community in a good way. Pumperau is so beautiful and unique. You've got to come and see it for yourself. Its population is 770 people. There's two different tribes, the Thayor tribe and the Witmunkan tribe. The community is right on the beach. You find if you're a tourist walking through town, you'll get a lot of the old people approaching you, asking you, hey, who are you, where are you from? And then the conversation starts and friendships are made. I always was told by my school teachers that I'll never amount to nothing. I'll always be in and out of jail all my life because of my attitude. Back then I was a mess. I always was in trouble, always getting into mischief with the wrong people. After a few of my family members passed away, the light started coming on in my head, and one of those light bulb moments stopped me. I can't be doing this, for the rest of my life. I started talking to some of the older people in my families, some of the respected elders in our community groups, and they sort of gave me a bit of guidance and something to grip on for the future. My eldest brother, who was living in Pumperau at the time, came down and asked if I wanted to get away for a couple of weeks for a fishing trip. And 4 years later, I'm still here in Pumperau, so yeah. I work at an organisation called Pomerapant Aboriginal Corporation. I started here in 2007 as the groundsman. The line director, for some reason, seen potential in me. He said, you're here pushing mowers around, but I can see that you're a really bright young man. He said, why don't you try a bit of social support working? Kurt's been sort of my guide. He's always been there for me. He's got me where I am today. Royal Flying Doctor Service introduced a training initiative to Cape York Indigenous communities to help train local people up and get them in jobs and staying in jobs. I'm a labourer by trade, but getting into social work was a totally different perspective, avenue. I've picked up a lot of skills from my training, such as advocating, good governance, general life skills, budgeting, how to look after friends and families, promotion, health promotion, everything to do with social work and people's social and emotional well-being. Thank you for your time.
Hearing from you soon.
No worries. Good to see you too.
Doing great work.
My training's made me a better person today. I work in a team of three, myself and Meredith Akwukurum and Maggie Kawaja. Meredith has done the same training with me in the Flying Doctors. We're both qualified counsellors in mental health. Maggie just completed her Cert 4 in community development with the RFDS, so she's doing most of our community support working, community engagement. They're like the grandmother and mother I never had, and having them around, they really bring the true Sam out of myself. So what did you learn at school today? Anything that's sticking in your head? Some words of encouragement to people who are thinking about studying. Everybody knows that education is the key. That's the only way we can build our strengths up here and in here. Follow your heart. Educate yourself so you can educate the younger ones to make a better future for ourselves. Whichever road the paths might take us, we'll get there, wherever you want to get. Determination, power, strong will, and plenty of support. I couldn't have done it without support. That's Samuel Wong's story in a nutshell.
Warning: this video may contain images of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples now deceased. Since 2006, the Royal Flying Doctor Service, Queensland Section, has been working with Cape York communities to build their capacity to respond to social and emotional wellbeing issues by providing employment and training opportunities. Marilyn Keppel completed a Certificate 4 in Community Development and works in Cowan, Cape York. This is Marilyns Story.
I'm Marilyn, belong to the Wicmunkin clan and Lamalama clan, and I'm a community development consultant at the Wellbeing Centre here in Cowan, working for the Royal Flying Doctors. Describing the town, Cowan town, it's my town. The population of, I'm pretty sure, about 300 or less. We have 2 shops, 1 pub, a kindy, a guest house, a cafe, a clinic. We have a school, a police station, and then you have the residents. Some funny characters, some serious characters. Biggest challenges, remoteness, financial challenges. You know, the shops are pretty expensive freight-wise. They've got to pay their freight, so we're paying more. Health-wise, patients are sick, they've got to go to Cairns for, because big hospital down there. I guess boredom too, because there's hardly any jobs for the younger generation. Wellbeing Centre, it's a community centre for anyone and everyone who comes in there. Make them feel welcome, and they can come in and have a cup of tea. They don't have to come in and talk about anything. They can just come in and say hello, have a yarn, their trip to Cairns or anything. But it's just, I think sometimes they're afraid of doing that because there's that stigma that that's a mental health place. I don't want to go there. People are going to see me walking through there. They're going to think something wrong with me, or, they're going to know my business, or, But it's not about that. Come in and sit down and have a yarn. Particular skills I learned at Cert 4: communication, people skills, and listening skills too, whether it be the elders group, the women's group, if it's one-on-one counselling, I had to stand up and be counted. Well, when I first started going to training, I was, really nervous, scared, just didn't know what I was getting myself into. I thought, what am I doing? I've got to go in and I've got to meet all these people and I've got to be talking and, oh, that's shame. And that was a challenge for me because I was this shy, awkward teenager and I walk along with my head down and not look at people. But I think the main thing that was in my head was that, am I smart enough? That's what I was kind of worried about at that time. But I actually lived that life, because most of the topics were about drug and alcohol and mental health issues. And I lived that life. 13 years of it, I lived it. And so I knew, I had the experience, and I probably just didn't know how to go about talking about it, how to, raise the subject or, maybe because it was painful still. I think I'm, doing that course, it just brought out a lot in me, and I think I came to that final straw where I let go, so that healing's well and truly, that part of that journey is over. I'm on a new journey now with RFDS. The people that I've met, they've given me so much to think about. Even their time is precious to me because, I'm always absorbing some information. I'm learning something new from any one of them that I spend time with. Like the fire? It would be nice to have some crayfish, check it on there. My happiest childhood memory would be of my mum and me spending so much time together, camping, fishing, hunting, looking for turkey egg, catching bream out of the river. I think she's looking down on me and she's crying, happy tears. She's proud, proud of what I've achieved. I'm hoping to go off and do study next year. So I want to be a counsellor. I feel that my calling is in that direction. Future of my community, I'd love to see more people walking with their heads up high, being proud of who they are and where they're from, and being proud of their family as well, their past history, and embracing that past history and moving towards the future.
Warning: this video may contain images of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples now deceased. Since 2006, the Royal Flying Doctor Service Queensland Section has been working with Cape York communities to build their capacity to respond to social and emotional wellbeing issues by providing employment and training opportunities. Josh Williams completed a Certificate 4 in Community Development and works in the Mossman Gorge community. This is Josh's story.
I'm Josh Williams. I'm from the Daintree, China Camp, Bloomfield area. I'm part of the Gugu Yalanji clan. Mossman Gorge is surrounded by the tropical green. The river flows all year round. It's so crystal clear, lovely to swim in, and beautiful to drink from. I believe our water here is healing to anyone that tastes it or swim in it, and that there's no water like it anywhere I don't think in Australia. The Wellbeing Centre is made up of 2 community development consultants. That's myself and Eileen McAllister.
We work pretty good together. Our team leader is Andrew Gibson, he's also from here, Bomberman from here. We have our community development officer, Lucia Hassett, and Fairley Morgan, our clinical counsellor. Lovely ladies, yes. I enjoy getting up and coming to work every day. I think the community, it sees us as pretty much like we're their supporters. They know they can always come and get help with us, no matter what it is. We try our best to support them.
Working with Eileen and Josh and the team, they've got their strengths and also the commitment that helps me out really a lot with my leadership and with the challenges that we face on a daily basis working in this area. I think one of the most important thing is the cultural delivering, and that's something that Eileen and Josh also bring forward. Working in Royal Flying Doctors and working in remote communities, that sort of helps close the gap too as well.
I think what really influenced me, like in my childhood, was growing up with my grandmother, who now is deceased. I have good memories of growing up with her, and that's associated with, traditional language and knowledge. We're Bama, and this is our bubu, our country. Our personalities and our way of thinking and feeling, we share that. I think that's why the bond in the team was so strong. I decided to do the course because I needed to develop the skills to help support my community in improving health and well-being, and challenge my fears and learn to come out of my comfort zone a bit. Speak my thoughts, speak my feelings. It's helped me to do that. The most important part of work in my community, I believe, working very closely with high priority clients who may need extra ongoing support within families or individual crisis. They're the ones who need that extra attention. The specific challenges for these fellows is when someone is actually trying to give up drinking alcohol, we call it gummo, and trying to break that cycle. So I think that's a bigger challenge for a lot of our men here. In the future for me, I'd like to go on doing further studies. I would encourage anyone out there to do study and do training, because I find education allows you to grow, and once you've got the knowledge, anything's possible when you put in the hard yards, and you believe in something.